G'day guys, welcome back to SuperCoach with DR and welcome to the rapid fire round 14 NBL SuperCoach review. Hope you're all going well. Merry Christmas, New Year's and all the rest. Now, to be honest, I haven't watched too much basketball, so this is going to be very, very rapid fire. I'll quickly take you through the side and then look to make some trades. But Green Arrows, again, things are looking pretty good at the moment. 525 for the round score and now 576 for the season rank. I'm about 20 points away from the top 500 and about 120 points away from the top 250. So that's probably the new goal for me at this stage. But as long as I can stay in the top 1,000, I'll be a pretty happy man. My trades last week, one worked out pretty well. Other one was okay, but not fantastic. But all in all, a very, very solid round. So we're going to keep this one really short, guys. As I said, haven't watched too much basketball with everything that's been going on. Obviously, the BBL, I've been keeping a pretty keen eye on that. Going all right, going downhill with that at the moment, but hopefully I can have a good week there. But that's it for the intro, guys. Let's see how this team's looking, and then we'll look to lock in some trades. Alrighty, so my forwards, not too bad, but underwhelming at the same time. We have Praith with a 60 and Big Montrez with a 64. Montrez in particular been extremely disappointing since I brought him in. Fortunately, last game ended up getting that double-double, which was really, really handy. I think he ended up getting close to a 40 in the end. And Prather, well, our expectations too high with him. We saw him go on an absolute mad run. But, yeah, his shooting was just a little bit off, I think, during this round. But 60, we're not complaining with. Froling with a 72. So the last 2 weeks I've had this guy on the bench, and I think he's been close to my top scorer. So may look to get him on field this week. We'll see what happens there, but he's been a super trade in. It was only going to be a bench option for me. What was that, 2-3 weeks ago? So he's been phenomenal for me. Peatling just continues to do what he needs to do. 35 on a double, making a little bit of coin. Most of that cash gen will start to dry up now, but 35 on the bench, that's fine for me. Harrison, again, has been underwhelming. So very similar scores here, a 60, 64 and a 59 from Harrison, but his double run, you probably just look to keep him and hope that he has a really big ceiling type game. Menenga, I was really happy with this. I was close to selling him last week, but at 24, basically broke even this week. So given the fact that he is now going to start to have a nice run of doubles, probably one that we just leave there. But if I've got a fair bit of cash, I'd love to upgrade him if possible. Davis with 93, a little bit underwhelming. We've seen when Bryce went in that hot run, we got a couple of 100+ captaincy scores. So not going as well as he has been. We've seen 60s in singles, but 93 as a captain, I'm not complaining. Cal with a 62, really nice trade in a couple of weeks ago. Didn't reach the heights of what he did the week before, but still fantastic, 60 on field. As I said, yeah, just 59, 60s. Cook with a 26. This was extremely disappointing. A 0 in the first game. And if you had this guy on field, that would have really, really hurt. Hit back a little bit with a 26, but nothing to really write home about. All of a sudden has a very high break even, and this concerns me slightly. Most of the top 1 to 5% have him, but it's going to be a big call whether or not we keep him this week. And then Isaac White with a 29. He was the other bloke I traded in. Big mistake here. It should have been Walton Jr. I just wasn't expecting Walton Jr. to go so big, and I was hoping that White could get even a 40 or a 40+. Didn't happen at the end of the day. That may hurt me with my trades this week, but that's how the side's looking. Now, when we talk about doubles for the week, we've got Sydney on the double, Sem on the double, Illawarra's on the double, Cairns single, Adelaide single, Melbourne single, Brisbane on the double, New Zealand on the double, and Tassie on the double. So we've got a heap of teams on the double this week. Single game plays for me will have Harrell, we'll have Davis, and that's it. Everyone else is on the double. Now, there's no way I'm going to look to trade Davis out of the side. He can do anything even on a single, and I just want to hold on to him. Harrell's an interesting one. Now, he has been pretty disappointing for me, but he's a sort of bloke that can absolutely destroy you if you don't have him. I could do a bit of a 1-week play possibly and see how he goes this week, and then maybe look to trade him back in. I'm probably in the position where I can do that with a few plays now because I'm really well structured here with upcoming doubles. You look at Brisbane's run, that's really good for next month. You got singles here with Adelaide, but then I think another month. Harrison's in the same boat as Prather, as are these two. Illawarra have a really nice run. Cairns are probably the other team that I'm interested in, not necessarily this week, but possibly next week. I could go early on someone like a Tanner Groves, who's someone I'd love to have in the side. If you had the double this week, I probably would. But let's have a bit of a play around. Now, I'm definitely going to be trading two or at least one of these blokes here, Cook or White. The big question for me is, do I focus on the money side of things and the break-even side of things, or do I focus on trying to get as many points on field this week? Now, given the fact we're heading into round 15 now, we've only got a quarter of the season left. So I'm asking myself now, given the fact I think I've structured up well, should money be my major focus or should points be my major focus? I'm leaning more towards the points at this stage, but I know that it's always a bit of a balancing act. So yeah, it's a really, really big decision. If I do go, say, White out this week, and he will lose nowhere near as much cash you wouldn't think as what Cook will, then there's a really easy trade I can make here. And that's obviously to Bolton Jr. And I've still got, well, when I say still got, it's not a heap, is it? But 26K in the bank. The question now is, what do you do? You've only got 26K. I'd love to upgrade a Peatling or a Menenga to a gun, but I just can't do that with that sort of coin. If I was to trade out, say, a Cook instead of a White, I've now got over 200K in the bank, and I can actually potentially do something with a Menenga. Actually, can I do this? That's a pain. That would have been good. So Cook, you get out, you get Walton Jr. in, and I'm expecting a similar output in regards to scoring, but with a really low break even here and a really high break even. That probably makes sense. Walton's coming on to 3 doubles in a row, and that is such a massive upgrade there. It's not funny, but 8K away. So that would be the ultimate sort of trade for me if I could. 169, so I'm just out of the loop with Peatling there as well, aren't I, to be able to do that? 157. So the option I've got is to get Montrez just out for the week, and then you bring in Cooks, who's got that double. If I'm really searching for the points, it's that there, I think. So I'm taking out White for Walton Jr., which is going to be a massive upgrade on points there, as well as a break even as well. I think he'll make more cash than White will this week. And Harrell for Cooks. Well, Cooks on a double. You back him over most players on a double, don't you? Harrell, yeah, just not in great form. I know he had that 40, but just not looking the best at the moment. There's been questions about his attitude. There really has all season, to be honest, but I'm a little bit off him at the moment. And I think that will allow me this week anyway to have a really big points boost and potentially even get some more cash in the bank from what I'd have here compared to what I bring in. The big issue for me is Cook with that really high break even. Almost like to get off him as a bit of a pod move. I'd like to anti-pod him. But we've seen at the same time that he can easily pull a 40 out, a 50 out. And on a good double, he can give you an 80. And all of a sudden, you're really not losing much coin there. And if I was to trade him out instead of White, then I could potentially be losing a lot of points. The question is what I'd do next week. Just say if I don't do this. $350. Now, see, I still can't get Cooks, can I? What I'd do in this situation, if I could get Cooks, was to just bring Froling on field for Harrell, have Cooks there, and then probably Prathat's out of Prather or Walton Jr. for that on-field slot. Is there anyone else instead of Cooks that I could? Matt Hurt. Magne as a pod. Maybe I'm too Cooks focused. Wardenberg, you'd love to have from next week. Groves, he's really the one. Do I just go early on someone like Groves, go Meninga to Groves? Might hurt. What's recent form been like? I think it's been pretty mediocre. Oh, well, so 33. So he hasn't gone under 30 in the last 5. 33, 36, 30, 39, 30. It would allow me to keep on to Montrez. A couple of Sem boys. Oh, I can't do it. Oh, that was a waste of time and energy, wasn't it? All right, do you know what? At this stage, I think it may seem like a bit of a short-term play, but I think that's what I'm going with. Sorry about that. Computer had an absolute hissy fit for a second there. So I think this is how I'm going to line up this week. So we're going to have Prather and Cooks on field, Menenga and Peatling on the Pine. Everyone's on a double there for the week. Froling I'm actually going to bring on field, given the fact that he's just been on fire recently. I'm going to play him over Harrison at this stage. Again, I'll need to take a really close look at the matchups, but that's probably the big decision I have there. Cal and Moulton Jr. on the doubles will be on field. Cook, just with that zeros, scared me a little bit there, but potentially could have him on field as well. And Davis, he can score really well on a single, but I think he'll be on the Pine as well. So only the... Hang on, do we have any players on a single? Yeah, just Davis on a single this week. And then next week, what do you look to do? Tanner Groves is someone that I'm really keen on. So there is, between someone like Menenga and Cook, you've got Tanner Groves there all of a sudden. Montrez, do I want to bring Montrez back? You've probably got that between Cook and a Peatling or Menenga if I feel like I want to get him back in. But again, this is very, very risky keeping on to Cook with his high break even. I'm hoping they can score decently. And with the matchups for captaincy this week, it's a real lotto. But at this stage, I think that I'm going with Xavier Cooks. This may change because all 5 options on field are certainly captaincy material for the week. So that's it for now, guys. I'll leave you there. All the best of luck with your round. We've got about a quarter of the season left. So I'm hoping I can get into that 500. If not, just hold rank for now. So cheers, guys. Hope you're well. See you soon next one. Bye.